Hello everyone. In this lecture we are going to discuss class 8th topic, chapter number 7, variation, practice set 7.1. So within practice set 7.1 we have the first question, write the following statements using the symbol of variation. Within it, first sub question, circumference C of a circle is directly proportional to its radius R. Now we have given the circumference of a circle, that is C, is directly proportional to, we have radius of a circle, that is R. So that symbolically we can write it as C is directly proportional to R. Here this alpha like symbol implies for the direct proportion. Now look at the second sub question within the first question of practice set 7.1. Consumption of petrol BAL in a car and a distance traveled by that car BAD are in direct variation. So that now we have given consumption of petrol, that is L, is in direct variation with, we have distance traveled by a car, that is D. So that symbolically we can write L is directly proportional to the distance traveled by the car, that means D. Here alpha like symbol is for direct variation, or we might be says direct proportion. So this is the symbolic representation of the given question. Look at the question number 2 from practice set 7.1. Complete the following table considering that the cost of apples and their number are in direct variation. Now we have given is in the first row of the table number of apples, called it as an X, cost of apples, called it as an Y. We have one apple cost is 8 rupees, 4 apples cost is 32 rupees, and so on. We have to fill in the blanks. Now be careful, we have given the number of apples, that is X, is directly proportional to their cost, that means cost of apples, that is Y. So once here X is directly proportional to Y, so that let us try to consider here the proportionality constant as a K. I am writing where K is equal to the proportionality constant, or is in the simple way just a constant. So that we will get K to be equals to, for finding the value of K, let us try to shift now the Y from RHS to LHS, so that Y is a multiplier. After all shifting it will become a divisor. Divisor to whom? To X. So that we are getting K is equals to X divided by Y. Now as per the first condition, we might take for a 1 apple or for a 4 apple, it doesn't matter. So now I would like to take for a 1 apple. That means I am writing for X is equals to 1, we have cost Y to be equals to 8. So that once we are replacing X by 1 and Y by 8, we are getting value of K is 1 upon 8. Once we have the value of K, then we can write now the equation of variation is of the form X is equals to K. K means we have 1 upon 8 into Y. This is called as a equation of variation. Now for finding, look at the third column of the given table. We have to find for the X once the Y value is 56. So I am writing here for Y equals to 56, we have to find for X. So what shall we have to do? Let's try to replace y by their value from the equation of variation so that we are getting x. So that should implies x is equals to 1 upon 8 into y. Y is now the 56. Everyone well known, 8 ones are 8 and 8 sevens are we have a 56. So that should implies whenever y is 56, then the value of x is 7. That means 7 apple cost is we have a 56. So try to fill up now is in the given table. The value of x is 7, then the value of y is 56, and if value of y is 56, then the value of x is 7. Now be careful about the fourth column. We have given x is equals to 12, so that now I am writing for x is equal to 12, we have to evaluate the value of y. Again the same thing we can use here the equation of variation for finding the value of y once we have the value of x. So that x is now 12, 1 upon 8 as it is into y as per the equation of variation. Try to shift for finding the value of y. Try to shift now the 8 from RHS to LHS. 8 is a divisor. After all shifting it will becomes a multiplier. So that value of y we are getting 12 8s are 96. That means the cost of 12 apples is equal to we have a 96. So I am filling over the table. We have once x is equals to 12, value of y is 96. Now we have to evaluate the value of x for y equals to 160. So I am writing now for y equals to 160, we have to evaluate for x. So same thing again we are using here equation of variation. We have x is equals to 1 upon 8 into y. Now y is 160. Everyone well known, 8 ones are 8, 28s are we have 160. So that should implies our x value is 20. That means 20 apple cost we have 160. So that I am filling over the table now. The value of x is 20, then the value of y is 160. And if the value of y is 160, then the value of x is we have a 20. Now look at the question number 3 from practice set 7.1. If m is directly proportional to n, and when m equals to 154, n equals to 7, find the value of m when n equals to 14. Now first of all we have given that m is directly proportional to n. So that let us try to form now the equation of variation. So for that let us try to consider the proportionality constant k. So that I am writing where k equals to we have a constant. So that the value of k now, let us try to shift m from RHS to LHS. After all shifting n is a multiplier, it will becomes a divisor to n. So that k value we have m divided by n. Now we have given for m equals to 154, value of n is 7. So that should implies value of k equals to m is now 154, n is now we have a 7. So that we well known 22 sevens are 154. So that we are getting now the value of k is 22. So now I am writing equation of variation. Equation of variation is given by we have m equals to k means a 22 now into n. This is our equation of variation. Now we have to evaluate the value of m for n equals to 14. So that I am writing for n equals to 14, what is the value of m? So again by using equation of variation, we have m equals to 22 into n value is 14 now. So after all simplifying we are getting 22 into 14 is 308. So the when value of n is 14, we have value of m is 308. Look at the question number 4 from practice set 7.1. If n varies directly as m, complete the following table. We have given is in the first row value of m and is in the second row value of n. First column, when value of m is 3, n is 12. Value of m is 5, n is 20. Value of m is 6.5, we have to evaluate for n. Then value of m we have to evaluate for n equals to 28. Value of m is 1.25. For that we have to evaluate the value of n. So look once carefully. Now we have given that n varies directly as a m. So symbolically we can write m is directly proportional to m. Now let us try to form that equation of variation. So that n equals to, now we have k times m. I am writing where k is the proportionality constant, or is in the simple word we can say is a constant. So that the value of k is, try to shift now m from RHS to LHS. M is the multiplier. After all shifting it will becomes a divisor to n. So now for, as per the table we may choose now the first column or the second column. It depends on you only. So I am choosing here the first column because both m and n values are known. Then we can easily evaluate the proportionality constant value, that means the k value. So that for, I am writing m equals to, we have a 3, n value is 12. So let us try to evaluate that value of proportionality constant, that is k. So k equals to, we have now n divided by m. N value is 12, m value is 3. Now everyone well known, 3 ones are we have a 3 and 3 fours are we will get a 4. So that the k value, now we have a 4. Now once we have the k value, let us try to form that equation of variation, which is given by, now be focused, we have n equals to k into m. K value is 4, so 4 into m, that is equation of variation. Now we have to evaluate for the n value such that we have m value is 6.5. So that I am writing here for m equals to 6.5, let us try to evaluate the value of n. We have equation of variation is of the form n equals to 4 into n. M value we have now the 6.5. So that 4 into 6.5 we are getting 26.0. That is, I am writing the n value is just a 26, because after decimal if there are number of 0 that are having no one value, so that 26.0 we can write it as a 26. So I am filling the number over the table. Once m is 6.5, we have the value of n is 26. Now we have to evaluate the value of m for n equals to 28. So that I am writing, we have to evaluate the value of m for n equals to, we have a 28. So as per the equation of variation, we have n is equals to, now the n value is 28. So n is equals to, we have 4 into m. So for evaluating the value of m, try to shift now the 4. 4 is a multiplier. After all shifting it will becomes a divisor. Divisor to whom? To 28. Now everyone well known, 4 ones are 4, 4 sevens are we have a 28. So the value of m is, we have a 7. For value of n is 28. So I am filling over the table. We have the m value is 7 for n is equals to 28. Now be focused, we have to evaluate for the n value once the m value is 1.25. So that I am writing for m equals to, we have 1.25. Let us try to evaluate the value of n. So equation of variation, we have n is equal to 4 into m. M is 1.25. So that 1.25 into 4 we are getting 5.00. Again same thing, after decimal if there are number of zeros that are having no value, that means we can write 5.00 as a 5. So for m equals to 1.25, we have value of n is a 5. look at the question number 5 from practice set 7.1. Y varies directly as a square root of x when x is equals to 16, y equals to a 24. Find the constant of variation and the equation of variation. Now look once carefully. We have given here y varies directly as a square root of x, so that the symbolically we can write y is directly proportional to the square root of x. Now let us try to form that equation of variation by considering the proportionality constant as a k. Okay, so here where k is, we have proportionality constant or just a constant. Now for finding the value of k, try to shift that root of x from RHS to LHS. Root of x is the multiplier. After all shifting, it will become a divisor to y. That means k value we have now y divided by square root of x. So as per we have given, to evaluate the value of proportionality constant or the constant of variation means a k, we have given that x is equals to 16 when y is equals to 24. So I am writing for x is equals to 16, y value we have a 24. Try to replace from the equation of k is equal to, we have y is 24 divided by square root of x is we have a 16. Now square root of 16 is 4. Now everyone well known, 4 ones are 4, 4 6 are we have a 24. So the value of k we have as a 6. Now once we have the value of k, we can write now the equation of variation. So equation of variation is given by, we have, it is of the form y is equal to k means now we have a 6 into square root of x, that is our equation of variation. Now look at the question number 6 from practice set 7.1. The total remuneration paid to laborers employed to harvest soybean is in direct variation with the number of laborers. If remuneration of 4 laborers is rupees 1000, find the remuneration of 17 laborers. Now look at the answer what we have given. The total remuneration paid to laborers is in direct variation with the number of laborers. Now I am assuming that we have total remuneration paid to laborers be x rupees and number of laborers we have a y in number. That means symbolically we can have now x is directly proportional to y. Let us try to form that equation of variation by considering the proportionality constant as a k. I am writing x is equals to k into y, where k is equal to, we have a proportionality constant. Now the value of k, that is given by, let us try to shift the y from RHS to LHS, so that y is a multiplier. After all shifting, it will becomes a divisor to x. So the value of k we have x divided by y. Now is in the question already we have given, if there are the 4 laborers, the total remuneration for them is 1000 rupees. So that I am writing here we have remuneration is equal to x, that is 1000, and total number of laborers means we have a y, that is equals to a 4. So for x is equals to 1000, y is equal to, we have a 4. So that value of k is given by x is 1000, y is 4. So 1000 divided by 4, we are getting value of k is 250. Now we can have the equation of variation first. So the equation of variation is given by, equation of variation is of the form x is equals to k into y, where now we have the k value is 250. So that equation of variation is x is equals to 250 into y. Now once there are number of laborers we have a 17, we have to find their remuneration. So I am writing for total number of labors means we have a y now that is equals to 17 labors. For that we have to find the amount of remuneration. So that now as per the equation of variation we have x is equals to 250 into y value we have now the 17. So that value of x is given by 250 into 17. We have here now the rupees 4250. So that final answer should be is in terms of the word form. Therefore, the remuneration for we have how many labors we have given 17. So total remuneration for 17 labors we have rupees 4250. So here we have our practice set 7.1. Thank you.